Hey everybody, Joel Norden here, and welcome back to A Sound Discovery, where we discover some new music. Today we're discovering some new punk music, and it's been about 2 weeks since we've done this, so we're going to have some tunes to catch up on, but that's fine. If you guys are curious about following along with this, make sure you go on Spotify and heart the Discover New Punk playlist, okay? I will make sure everything in this playlist is less than a year old, and it's all stuff from punk rock, skate punk, melodic hardcore punk, and folk punk specifically. And like I said, I'll make sure nothing is over a year old in here. We're going to keep up with that and keep checking out some new tunes. Now, our first issue that we have since our last time we've done this, we had a lot of labels that were blocking us from countries and regions, which really cut down on the broad spectrum of people that we could get in here to see these new tunes. And that's kind of the goal here, trying to utilize this platform to spread the word with smaller bands that typically wouldn't get a whole lot of exposure. So, you know, like with me and Chuck checking out music, it's kind of nice to be able to give back a little bit. I know we're not a huge channel yet, but hey, we're working on that, and we like to share music. So we probably won't be doing the 30-second clips of music, like I said, because of the blockage. I will be throwing up the whole thing in the Patreon. So if you're curious about that, you don't have to worry about labels hitting that over there. But for the YouTube, it'll just be us breaking stuff down. Now, we've had a lot of tunes since we last got on here. Let's see here. We were at Brassic, I believe is the last one we checked out. And like I said, this is about 2 weeks ago. So this first one, oh my gosh. Why is this not one? There we go. This first one is Pinata Protest. This is definitely more in the punk rock area. Not so much punk, definitely a little bit more of the rock style stuff going on here. And the reason I found these guys, they were on one of the final tours things with NoFX. So I saw the name and I thought that was hilarious. Pinata Protest. So I added a new tune by them into here. And like I said, this is definitely more on the rock side of things. But I do like the flow of that song, regardless. Actually, let's just move to the next one here. Dead on Arrival. This just dropped, I believe, here in the last month. If this will load. Oh, no, this one's February 8th. The next one, we did a reaction for this, Never Say Never by Trask. This is a Japanese skate punk type song. It's bilingual. I'm a little torn on that one just because I feel it has some pop punk melody with the vocals, but the instrumental is skate punk. So I'm kind of in a conundrum there, deciding where that goes. ASIO by The Mouths. This one just dropped in April on the 10th. And I don't know what ASIO is, to be 100% honest, but the song is rather amusing. This has a nice feel to it. Kind of gives me a like Ramones, maybe a Vandals feel to it a little bit. Enjoyable. Like I said, it's definitely a little bit more of a fun track lyrically. I probably should know what the ACO is, but you guys can explain that to me if you feel like it. Worse for Me, The Interrupters. This one came out last year. This is a little bit more punk sounding off their album. This was August of last year, so this won't be in there very long. Samium off their new album Stowaway, March 31st. This dropped, and that might be a little bit more in the post-hardcore. I'm still trying to figure out that genre and exactly, but it's definitely, I know they're a punk rock band, so that's getting thrown in there. Fake Names. Now this one, this seemed like an all-star. This didn't exactly come off as punk to me, maybe old school punk, but the lineup here is definitely punk. You got Brian Baker of Minor Threat, Bad Religion, Dag Nasty, Michael Hampton of SOA and Embrace, which I'm not really familiar with those bands. Dennis from Refused, Johnny Temple, Girls Against Boys, Soulside, and Brendan of Fugazi, which I'm not really familiar with them either. So I need to check out some stuff by those bands. But yeah, this kind of seems like a little bit of a super group. I tried to pick some punker sounding tracks off this album because there's a lot more kind of an atmosphere to this album. I don't really know. So you guys let me know what you think about that one. But it seems to have nice little attitude and a nice pace as well. So, Smoke and Mirrors by The Mustard. This is an interesting one. I personally like it, but we'll see what you guys think as well. I really like her vocals a lot. Where do drug dealers take their kids? Good question. I think this is Frenzel. I'm not sure. Frenzel Romb? Not 100% sure on the pronunciation. I don't know how I feel about this band exactly. I haven't heard a whole lot by them. This is really the only song. This album dropped in April 7th. So the instrumental is pretty tight on that song, but it's the vocals that I'm not 100% sure on. And like I said, I haven't really heard much from them, so it might just take some getting used to. I still think it's above average, so it's in the list. Scowl dropped a new EP, which they're very experimental. This dropped in April 7th. So that one's definitely a little bit more punk rock. I think the pace is kind of a little bit slowed down a little bit, but it's still a good song. We'll see how long that lasts in there and see what you guys think of that. The next one is My Creation by Bridge the Gap. I think the flow is phenomenal for this song. It has a nice little pickup there at the chorus, and I really like that. The next one is Bridges by Jughead's Revenge, which is an interesting named band. This dropped the 7th of April. I think this song has a really, really nice skate punk vibe that kind of pays tribute to older skate punk tunes, but does not feel close enough that it's like a direct copy off them. Just kind of nod at the cap. Nice placed F-bomb in there as well. It would make Chuck proud, I'd say. The overall vibe of that song, it's probably up there in my top, let's just say top 20 new songs at the moment. I do enjoy that a whole lot. Outer Control dropped a new song, Forest, which also dropped April 7th. This one has a nice speed to it and an overall nice vibe. The lyrics are nice as well. This one's Devastated by Nufo. This one dropped April 3rd. The lyrics are really good for this one. This one's also in my top 20, I'd say, of new tunes that have come out. The lyrics there are just phenomenal. It did take me a second to warm up to his vocals, but they are not bad by any means. The Dead Krasukis, they dropped a new song on the 14th, and this is a cover song of Maniac. Classic tune, and then just add a nice punk vibe to it. Come on now. And her vocals are just phenomenal. Like, I love it. They're like raw, but not too raw. I got to check out more by the Dead Krasukis for sure. Hopefully this is an upcoming album that this is included on, or maybe this is a single promoting an upcoming album. We'll see. Don't want to speculate too much there, but let's hope. Destroy by First to Fight. This dropped April 9th. They dropped a whole album, looks like. So while I don't have any issues per se to the song, it's definitely not my favorite. The vocals are a little down, and so yeah, there's that. It's still a decent song, and I do think it's above average, so that's in there. Another one off of Secret Combinations by Bridge the Gap, and like I said, this whole thing dropped in March. Pretty sure I said that at least. The Great Unwashed. Oh, that's definitely in my top 20 as well. Banger. The next one is All Too Familiar by Batwolf, and we already had a few songs in here by them, but this song is probably my favorite off this album that dropped in February, and it is pretty freaking solid. It just has a nice ass rhythm to it. It's also familiar. Enjoy this one a lot. The next one I also enjoy a lot, Risky and the Ridicule, My Name. They dropped this April 5th. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of punk this is. Grime punk subculture. Pioneers. So that's new to me. I have no clue what grime punk is, but I sure as hell love this song. I'm not going to lie to you. I love this so much. Chuck and I did a reaction and a review for this one, so if you guys want to check out more of that, you can go ahead and do so. Tearjerker, Love Being Alone. I got to say, this one's probably top 10 right now for me. This dropped October of last year, but I'm just discovering it myself. So lyrically, I grew up, I was a little bit of a loner growing up, and so there's a part of me that really enjoys this song, but there's the other part of me that, has a wife and kids, so it doesn't really make sense that I enjoy it, but I do love my alone time, so this song hits for me. This hits. Bouncing Souls off their new album, Higher Ground. This album is 10 Stories High, and that dropped in March. This one has a really good, melody to the whole thing, and it picks up in the right places to keep me interested. The Bouncing Souls have really nice sound. I enjoy them very much, and I can't wait to see them live. And I'm not even checked out that much music by them, but we get to see them open up in Columbus for NoFX final show, and I'm pretty freaking stoked, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, pretty freaking stoked. We have another one by Fake Names off of the Expendables album. This is Go. Go just has a really nice, kind of a classic rock vibe. So kind of that old school. I struggle to understand if that's punk or not, but it definitely kind of to me is like a 70s style punk. Nothing real crazy, but that we might slim down with Fake Names in this playlist if a lot of people don't consider them punk. Just maybe leave it to one or two songs. Another one from Scowl, Opening Night. I really enjoy the flow to that one, and that's another one that people might be like, well, it's not punk. It doesn't even feel very much punk rock, and if that's the case, we might slim down on those a little bit as well, but I am enjoying those so far, and Sicker by Melon Ball. This one's a top 10 for me right now out of the new stuff. This dropped in March. I really dig the vibe of that one, and I love her vocals as well. So Dumb by Teenage Bottle Rocket. This one's newer, dropped April 14th. I've only really honestly heard one or two songs by them, but this is pretty nice. The lyrics for this are great. I find it definitely enjoyable. I don't know if that would be considered pop punk or punk. You guys can let me know. But to me, it was kind of gave some punk vibes for show. Dead All Right by Playing With Fire. They dropped a song on the 14th. No, they dropped an EP maybe? At least 5 songs on April 14th. If I had hair, I would tear it up on that track. Some headbanging. For sure. It's good shit. Funny enough, the artwork for these are rather similar. Not Stop the World. They dropped a song, an album on the 14th of April. That one has an interesting tone because it's kind of like it's like upbeat, but at the same time down, kind of like a bummer tone to the whole song. Pitfall by Hike the Peak, and a bunch of other people are featured in there as well. I'm really digging women in punk, their vocals are just awesome. In general, I think I prefer female singers over male singers, not to be sexist, but I absolutely love it. Punk, symphonic metal, you name it. I am a sucker for a very nice voice. April 14th, that dropped. Secret 7 Line. The song is Shout Out. They dropped a song on April 2nd. I've been really enjoying bands from Japan quite a bit, and this is a good example. Whether it be punk or deathcore or metalcore, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Japan right now. So that's pretty great. Another one off of the new Bouncing Souls album, To Be Human. Man, Bouncing Souls just went full vibes with this album. It's a beautiful skate punk. The melodies are just fucking on point. Solid as hell for sure. Leave It Behind, Better Late Than Never. This little 4-song EP, or maybe just a singles list, dropped April 1st. Solid as hell instrumentally. The vocals are a little interesting, kind of come off as a little bit kind of like a garage band feel, I'd say. So definitely kind of an underground feel with this one, but the instrumental and the vocals fit really nicely together. even if you're not a fan of those. Another new song by Rancid. We did a reaction review for that one already, so I'm gonna not play through that. But yeah, that's a pretty solid one in my opinion. A little repetitive, but not bad. We got a new song by Baxter. This dropped March 18th. This one is one of my current favorites. This is probably top 10 as well. It just has really good flow and kind of some nice storytelling aspects to the lyrics. So that's definitely enjoyable. We have another one by Grade 2, Under the Streetlight. I believe we checked some of these guys out in the last one, but there's another song on this album that I end up enjoying, and this dropped in February. Actually got another one coming up here. It's Mad World. This whole album, honestly, is a banger. It is a great flow to this. So I definitely suggest you guys checking out Grade 2. This self-titled album is pretty damn good. I'm digging it. Sick Waiting, Uncommon Veins, excuse me. This dropped last year in November, so this one's a little bit older, and I'm just discovering it. The instrumental is just kind of brooding and I like it. I like it a lot. The vocals go nice, but they kind of just mix in with that instrumental, which is it's nice, especially if you get me to notice, me being a more of a vocal or lyricist guy. So that's a pretty solid one. Another one here from Shadowplay, or from Baxter. The song is Shadowplay. The Shadowplay must end. It's good shit. I'm highly suggesting that album, the Between the Punk and oh my God, I'm not even gonna try. Not even gonna try, guys. It's a solid album so far. I definitely seem to like the latter half of the album, but I'll save that for a review. We have another one by Bridge the Gap, and this is 3 for this playlist. 3 songs by these guys for the playlist. Torn on this band, I definitely like songs from them, but I didn't like the album as a whole. But like I said, we'll get into that with an album review maybe. Bangin' track, I forgot about that one. That's definitely in the top 10 for me as well. It's a Mad World Baby, another one by Grade 2. Solid ass track. A Knife Club. We added some of this album back on the last Sound Discovery, and this dropped April 7th, but I found another tune that I am enjoying. Stolen Focus. And I really enjoy the back and forth between the male and the female vocals there. That's good shit. So definitely enjoying that band as well. Old White Man by Baxter. We just checked out a couple by them, and same with Scout Knife by Samium. Both solid tracks, but we're going to let you guys check those out on your own because Brutiful. I am excited to hear this again. This is one of my top 5 tracks, maybe top 3. This is a solid ass track. See what you guys think about this one. That track is phenomenal. And while I don't know if you would consider it punk, it's definitely a side project featuring Fat Mike and Sam King from Get Hard. Hopefully I have that right. The genre is technically crime wave. They're starting their own little genre. But it sounds like a mix of punk and folk punk and with some dashes of hip hop in certain songs. Very experimental album, so that gets included in here as well. Dog Ears by Urethane. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. This dropped in February. I'm a Rat by High Standard, and I believe, High Standard, I want to say is a Japanese band. Yes, Japanese punk revival. All right. This track, though, dropped on the 19th of April, so definitely a little bit on the newer side of things here. So I think the instrumental is really solid there. I think the vocals are good, but they're definitely a little more of an acquired taste. Lyrically, I would like to dive into these just a little bit more and just see if it actually looks pretty decently solid. Got a little bit of repetition there, but nothing crazy, definitely compared to some punk songs. So that's a solid one as well. Ink Bomb, they dropped a new theme song in April 19th, so just a little bit ago. I think this one's okay. It's a little above average for me, but it's nothing super special. So we'll see how long that stays in there. See what you guys think about that one. I am curious. It's definitely not bad by any means. It's just Ink Bomb's theme song. We got a new one by Sadax. I love the name of this band, Sadax. April 14th, this one dropped. Good Hustle. This is just a groovy ass track. I mean, it's got a nice rhythm to the instrumental, and the vocals are solid. The lyrics are catchy. I'm enjoying this one quite a bit as well. All Riot by Angry Youth Elite. This dropped on the 21st of April, and that's pretty good. Strike 12, they dropped a new song, Smartphones and Smart People. This is on April 20th. Been digging this one. I feel like we all struggle with this problem for the most part. Smartphones making us dumber. It's a catchy song. Has a nice pace to it. Definitely enjoyable. That one's grown on me a lot. Must Be Wrong dropped a new song, Paralyzed, off of a Lost Identity, which I'm assuming is an album here. I clicked on that to see when it came out. April 21st. So this is definitely newer as well. This one's solid as hell. The vocals here remind me a lot of the Lawrence Arms, and I really dig it. Even the flow in general reminds me of Lawrence Arms a little bit. And okay, they're a young Swiss band. I was making sure there wasn't a side band or side project by one of those guys, because they have like 100 of them. I feel like lately when Chuck and I are reacting to tunes, it's always like, man, this sounds a lot like Lawrence Arms. People are like, it's a member of Lawrence Arms. I'm like, son of a bitch, how many side projects these guys have? But this gives me that same vibe of Lawrence Arms, same quality as well. I think this is a good one for sure. Bottle Tokes by Ketchup Kids. This came out April 21st. This one has a nice flow as well. Lyrically, it's rather fun. They're sneaking off to the old mill and doing some bottle tokes. Killin' Daisies dropped a song April 21st of this year. They dropped a whole dang album, so see what you guys think of that. Now, I think this song is a freaking banger. It's one of my, like in the last week or two songs that have dropped in there. This is definitely up there for me. Female punk vocalist again. Well, like I said earlier, tearing shit up. I love that. Love the sound. I love the message behind this song. And you know how like all of us get busy in the day to day. Like, I'm eventually going to stop doing this, or stop eating this way, or stop smoking, or stop drinking, or all kinds of stuff. But then we wait and we wait and we wait and we wait. Human nature, and we put it off until it's actually causing a problem, and then we fix it, instead of just saying, hey, I'd have a better lifestyle in general, or a better life if I had a better lifestyle, right? I think we can all agree with that, and we all struggle with it, including myself. And so this is a nice little burst of positivity, or pointing out the fact that you could just make some changes now and be better off. So I like that. It gives me a little bit of inspiration. Hell yeah. Chum Huffer, Orgy of Hate, dropped 21st of April, so definitely newer as well. Wasting Away is the track name. Not too shabby. That one's definitely above average. Definitely not my favorite song I've ever heard, but still has a nice flow to it for sure. Military Gun. They dropped 2 songs, April 18th. I definitely find this one enjoyable. It's just kind of slowed down for a punk song, so that's why it makes me kind of want to put in pop or punk rock. First, I thought it was pop punk, but the more I listen to it, the vocals are a little too raw for pop punk for sure. So even though it has a little more slow tempo and stuff, I think that still goes in the punk list. Guys, again, do me a solid and hit the heart right up here at the top of this list. Give her a listen if you're searching for some new punk music, and let me know what song was your favorite out of this batch of music. You'll have to let me know. I am curious. And if you have any punk songs that have come out in the last 2 or 3 months, make sure you drop those in the comments and let me know, okay? And I will check them out and see if I should put them in here. Remember, this isn't all the new punk music, but this is definitely a little more curated to my taste and what I've enjoying that's coming out. Every song in here I feel is above average at least, but some might drop out. And that's what we're about to just kind of break down here. Punk that's leaving this list. So I removed some stuff here since last time, and here are the ones that I removed. We removed the Anti-Flag song. Someone pointed out that a lot of the tracks were a little more emo sounding, and so I'm trying to slim down on that a little bit. 10 Stories High, that I just felt like there was a couple other songs that were better in this album, and I didn't want to go over 3 songs in this playlist, so that got removed. Bad Business, solid ass tune, a little more hip hop influenced, and I liked Brutiful better, so that got put in there. My Bad by Frank Turner, and Can't Let Go, those 2 were like meh songs, and they just kind of dropped below average for me, and I put them, well, maybe not below average. My Bad's not bad, but it's but it's okay. So that got thrown out of this list. And Can't Let Go, that one's just that's a experimental mess right there. Hip hop, punk, there's a lot of things going on, but I just felt like it didn't fit the list exactly. This band is emo pop punk, so we removed them from here and put them in the pop punk list. And then B273, I highly suggest you guys just check this song out. It's a very, very powerful song, and I thought it might fit in the folk punk side of things, but after listening to it, it just comes off as more of an acoustic song. Definitely worth checking out if you're trying to check out a powerful ass story. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Sound Discovery. If you guys have any suggestions or changes or stuff that's new, make sure you drop that in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Hopefully this new style works where we don't have any clips of the music. You guys can just be bluntly honest with me, okay? Obviously, we would like it more, but it's kind of like one of those things I'm weighing where I can share this and bands might get more of a listen if they're not blocked in other countries and regions, or we can ignore it and just say, well, they're going to get blocked in certain regions and it's more enjoyable for you guys. It's something we're going to have to figure out. So for now, what I'm doing is cutting the song tracks out. And like I said, the unfiltered or uncut version will be thrown up in the Patreon, and the cut version will be for the public to hopefully spread some awareness to these bands that definitely deserve it. Woo! That was a pretty good damn lineup of new punk music, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know your thoughts. And I'm Joel Norden. Until next time, guys, peace out.